Hi YouTubers. First watercolour for about 10 days I think. My palette has been kept in the Stay Wet box palette and it's still moist. Look, it's all liquid, well almost, all tube consistency, ready to go. So um, I'm going to, I haven't really got an idea what I'm going to do. Be something similar to what I've done before. So a bit of raw sienna, the usual. And this is the £90 Winsor & Newton rough paper. Sadly, we can't get any more of this. I've pre-wet it so we can, so it doesn't sort of diffuse too much. Just give it just a sort of general coating all over now. Just a sort of unifying warmth, a bit more in the sky. Okay, so we'll put in a bit of ultramarine. Nice and mixed. Plenty of water. Make sure it's nicely mixed, and we're just a bit stronger. A bit of cloud, so a bit of light red with that. See, there's a big threatening storm moving up towards Florida. My sister's out there at the moment. Their house in St. Petersburg. We've got our family there. Okay, that'll do for a sky. Just one stronger bit. Okay, sort of a windswept sky. And flash floods in Mallorca. I've been there several times. 5 people killed so far, caught in it. Okay. Right, just let that sort of soak in for a little while. In fact, I'll mute the sound and I'll give it a bit of a dry. Look, shout loud if I forget to unmute it. I've even written it on my board. No, unmute, because I sometimes, well, more often than not, I forget to unmute. Okay, so let's unmute. Let's mute. Going now. I don't know if it mutes completely. I don't think it does actually. Right, unmuted. A bit of a tip, you don't have to take my advice of course because it's personal, but when you're doing your skies, I know some of you watch me and if I do a bit of a streaky sky, some of your streaks tend to be a bit too small and regular, but by wetting the paper you can get this diffuse effect. I could go over that when it's dry with some more solid cloud, but I prefer not to. I like the wet in wet and the unpredictability of it. And what I want to do now is just to put in some very light distance with let's just put some houses up. I hope this is dry enough. Let's have a church there. was in Devon all last week. Ah, beautiful. I'm going to take it down to 2.5 because I'm going to put landscape there. It's going to flood back a bit. The paper's still a bit damp. My usual shape of a house. Now I can add a little bit of colour to that, so a touch of red. Just add just a little bit of colour there. Really faint, and so it lays back in the landscape, and I'll put it in. Hardly shows. Okay, that's just a little touch. Now we're putting some landscape. Now I want some bluey stuff, bluey red, but heavier than what we've just been using. You can see where this is. This is Frank Clark brush. It's lovely for doing this sort of thing, especially on the rough paper. Let's have a smooth that a little bit. Okay, a bit of a path there, or road. Just carry on. I bought a set of the Frank Clark brushes about a month ago. They're very good. But this one, you can see it's got a sort of a rounded edge to it, so it's not so good for doing your trunks of your trees and branches, which I like to do with the Ransonhake, which is a lovely. Well, the horses for courses, they're different, not better or worse. Well, we'll get some warmer colours in there. Bit of old burnt sienna. It's autumn. This cadmium yellow, but I'm mixing it with a bit of yellow. See, I say cadmium yellow with the burnt sienna. Bit of dark in there. Just a bit of Payne's grey. Back with this burnt sienna. So that's sort of merging. Want some of that background to show through. Try to get a bit of green in there. It's Payne's grey with that burnt sienna and yellow, cad yellow. Okay, let's have some dark, a bit of black blue with that. Bit of water. Oh, I can go over that with a bit of texture. You make it up as you go along. It's quite flying by the seat of your pants, really. I never know quite how it's going to turn out. We're just that path going to nowhere. This all dries lighter than when you put it on. At first, it dries quite a bit lighter. Let's just put a bit of that. Just a sort of a track then. Shadow. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Just want it to be a sort of a quick impression. Plenty of light and dark in it. Very impressionist. Leave a little bit of sparkle, but you don't want too much. I've got some blocking for paper on order. And that's why we have to use Patreon, because we get more money out of Patreon and it pays for the expenses of the material. And Patreon is very inexpensive to go on. I mean, about 80 or 90 pence a week. You can see and post all your work on my channel. I'm going to detail that with a bit of some branches, trunks. More Payne's grey in that. Otherwise it will just merge into nothing. But as the paper dries, it will take a bit more dry brush. Let's plenty of grey there. The sort of rough ground. I love doing rough ground. Plenty of green in there as well. No ready mixed greens, they're all made up. Right, okay. I don't think that will lift with the car. Let's just try. I'll do a little bit. can do too much of this. It's just a little bit too wet to, it fills back in. But I might do some of those with some gouache. Doesn't lift out like the Fabriano £130, but still a good paper. I'm going to give that another dry. So unmute, well, mute, then unmute, try to remember. Right, give that a bit of, oh, unmute. I've given that a bit of a good dry because I want to put in a figure. Just about here, but I haven't left a lot of scope for that, so because there's too much in there. But I'm not going to lift anything out there. I'm just going to paint it darker. So it's an autumn day, so we'll have a bit of red blue, a bit of a slightly darker. There's my palette. So we'll put in. It's got to be quite large because otherwise, if you do them too small, if I do a small figure there, but if you translate that to where it would be near the buildings, it'd be just the size of an ant. So you've got to be a little bit generous with the proportions. It's not too bad. Okay, that'll do. That'll dry lighter. Shadow, light's coming from there. Do I want to bother with shadow? Yeah, go on. Okay, that'll do. And we'll put a little bit of shadow then on the road here. Okay. I don't really want to do much more than that. I might put some no, I won't left. I'll just put some lighter, not lighter, some darker bits of burnt sienna and Payne's grey. Just a little bit of detail, not a lot. Just where it's sort of soaked back into the grooves that I made with the card. I can feel it in the sky. It's very moist. It's all just little bits to help it along, you know, just. Yeah, I don't think that much more there. I'll give it a good dry when I just done this. Okay, I suppose we could put a little bit of a. No, I'm going to leave those. A bit of birding. Right, a bit of signature. Nothing more to do on that road. Usher. Right. The light is. Move my blind a bit. It's getting that time of the year, but it's obvious, I know, but the sun is lower in the sky now, and it's creeping in under the blinds. So that's better. Right, okay, I'll dry it, and then I'll put a mount around it. I've got the roller chair on the wire. Right, mute. Awesome Mist, I think we'll call that. Not sure if I've got other ones called Autumn Mist, but soon find out. Right, okay, I've given that a bit of a try, still touch that. Let's put on a mount. It always gives a better indication as to what it would look like if it ever sees a frame. Let's go clean that's an understatement. Oh, the aperture on this mount is just a bit too small, but it's cleaner than some that I've got. Got a better one here. Is that larger? That's a bit larger. I'll put that one on. Oh, well, there we are. I think that spire was just a little bit blunt on the side. I don't want to go over it because it will dry and you'll see it. I want all this to stay merged. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. I'll get this uploaded and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.